Hello, fifth grade students. I hope you're enjoying home-based learning and doing your homework every day. Mr. Lesevich is working very hard to give you something to do every day. So hopefully you can finish it on time and find it enjoyable. So I have some homework that I want you to do. You don't need to turn it in, but I believe everybody will do it. So first of all, you need to take recess every day. Good thing is you don't have to line up and walk to a certain place. But the drawback of it is you don't have friends to play soccer with, or girls you don't have a whole bunch of other girls to circle around and eat snacks with. But I hope you take breaks as you work on your assignments. And second thing is eat your lunch on time and eat healthy. And good thing again is you don't have green and red dot time. So eat and enjoy the lunchtime with your family. And yeah, just do your best at home. It might be a little confusing in the beginning, the home-based learning, but I think you'll get there. Don't give your mom a hard time like you did to me and Mr. Lesevich. Listen and try your best. And yeah, hopefully I'll get to see you all soon. Have a good time at home. Bye-bye.
Focus, please. Good morning, fifth graders. I hope last night went well. I was very pleased with what some of you turned in. And that's a reminder that the rest of you can start putting stuff on the portfolio in Class Dojo. You will need the student QR code, which I downloaded on Class Dojo on February 4th. It says student QR code as a file. And after you do that, you can start taking pictures of your notebook and sending it to me. It really helps me if you take a picture of your notebook though, like this, vertical, instead of horizontal. If it's horizontal, I have to adjust my screen a little bit and it's a little bit harder to read. So if you could do it vertical, that would be excellent. I mentioned the other day that we will have a vocabulary quiz on Friday with those science words. And a few of you have turned in your science words, and I noticed there were a couple words that just either used the wrong definition for, or in one case you didn't even write anything. So I'm going to go over those words very quickly. The first word was weathering. Weathering is to change as a result of being exposed to weather. So you can think of it like this. If you have, well, in our classroom on the bulletin board behind my desk, there's spots that are darker than others. And the dark spots are where in the years before there was paper. And the sun shined in on the board and it dampened or it just faded the spots that weren't covered. So when you took the papers down, the sun couldn't get to what was behind it, so it's brighter brown than the parts that weren't covered by paper, which were not as dark. So it could be anything. Sometimes weathering has to do with fading from the sun. Sometimes a landform out in the desert gets a lot of sand hitting it, so as a result of that it's pitted and has little holes in it. That's weathering. Statues go through it all the time. A statue might be made out of copper or bronze, and over time it'll turn this bluish color. You could look up a picture of the Statue of Liberty, and from when it was first made to what it looks like now, and now it's like this bluish green color, and that's a result of weathering. The next word is erosion. Now, erosion is when, usually due to weather or something coming from the weather, ground, dirt, soil is moved away. I'm going to post a short video that shows erosion happening. If there's a flood, the waters come in and they flow over the banks of the river, and it'll take parts of the bank of the river with it. That's erosion. Wind does this. It'll pick up topsoil and blow it away. That's erosion. Deposition goes with erosion. There's the point where wind or rain may pick up the soil or the ground, but wherever it puts it down, that's deposition. So deposition is the act of depositing something. Erosion moves it, and you get a hole or something there, but all that dirt, all that land has to go somewhere. So wherever it stops, that's basically where it's deposited. That's deposition. The final one was the hydrosphere. And the hydrosphere is all the bodies of water or forms of water on the earth, which includes vapor and the clouds. So you'll see these definitions on the screen. Make sure you know them and be prepared to answer questions about them on Friday. Thanks. All right, fifth graders, I want to talk a little bit about what we're going to do today on what's on the agenda for today. So yesterday you did some word problems with decimals. Today I will upload a decimal worksheet that has, well, it's about story problems. It should be fairly simple. A little bit different than yesterday because it's going to include adding and subtracting of decimals as well as multiplying. Now I know some of you have been having trouble with getting those files off of Dojo. So not only will I post them in the Class Dojo, I will also email them out. I have several email addresses that people have asked me to send them to, so I'll keep doing that. If you weren't one of those people but would like them emailed, send me a message on Class Dojo and I will make sure that happens. After you're done with that sheet, you will also have some IXL to do. Today's IXL will be more about converting decimals to fractions and fractions to decimals. It should be fairly simple. I think you guys are fairly well versed in that. For character education, we're still, well, for the whole quarter, we're really focused on humility. And today you're going to watch a video. And the video is going to ask you a question: which circle describes you? I know right now that doesn't mean anything, but it will after you watch the video. So answer the question. You don't have to write down the question, just write the question in your homework notebook under the character education heading. You're continuing to work on your science essay. I want to remind you, this is an expository text. So in reading class, you've been reading different expository texts, and you've seen some features of those expository texts. There's headings. So in your essay, before each paragraph, it needs to have a heading. So make sure you're doing that. So it's just a line above it. It's not part of the paragraph, it's above the paragraph. And then as a part of that, you need to have 2 diagrams in your essay. It could be pictures or anything like that. You see these throughout expository text. And that is why on the sheets that I've been assigning you, on the comprehension sheets, I've asked you to describe the pictures or the diagrams you've seen. So you will need to add those in. Make sure you do that. I will say this, I'm using this essay as a first draft, and when we get back to school you'll be editing it in the second and third, the second and final drafts of it. let me take a look at my notes here. Boom. You will be doing some grammar on IXL as well. Today it's going to be about independent versus dependent clauses. So you can think about that as, in a way, it's fragments, sentence fragments versus sentences. Independent clause states a whole idea, and a dependent clause doesn't. For instance, I could say, why are you going to the store? Because I need food. Well, all you wrote was because I went to the store. That's a dependent clause. It's not a full sentence. So there'll be a video that explains some of that you'll need to watch. It might be meant for a little bit older student than you, but I think you'll find it useful as well. Once again, I'd like you to read just at your own level for reading A to Z. I hope that goes fairly quickly. Just read the book, listen to it, and take the quiz. And then we're going to be reading another expository text in reading. It's called What is Water Worth? And it's about, well, how people use water and how we need to protect it, really, because fresh water is an important commodity, and it's in many places water is polluted, and so they don't have fresh water. So it has the value there. That is about it for today. So I want to remind you guys to be uploading your work to Class Dojo. Continue to work on that essay and a little bit each day. Some of you already finished it, and that's great. Maybe all of you have, I don't know, but make sure you upload that. I'd like to see that you've done it. And what I've seen so far has been very good. So we will see you tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a good night. You hit the red button.